There was a time when almost every home had one simple ingredient sitting quietly in a kitchen cabinet. It was not expensive. It did not come in a colorful bottle. It did not promise hundreds of complicated benefits. It was just a small box of baking soda. Today, many people walk past it in the store without thinking twice. But our grandparents knew something that modern households sometimes forget: the most useful things are often the simplest ones. Older generations did not have a separate product for every little problem. They did not have a special spray for every surface, a different cleaner for every room, or dozens of items filling their cupboards. Instead, they learned how to use ordinary things in smart ways. And baking soda was one of their favorite household helpers. A single box could help with cooking, cleaning, removing smells, caring for clothes, maintaining the garden, and solving everyday household problems. But why did older people trust baking soda so much? Because it was affordable, easy to store, and surprisingly versatile. Many of the tricks they used decades ago still work today, and some of them might save you money, reduce waste, and make your home simpler. In this video, we will uncover the forgotten uses of baking soda that were passed down through generations. Some of these ideas may remind you of your grandparents' home. Others may be completely new. But by the end of this video, you may look at that small box in your kitchen very differently. 1. The reason baking soda became a household essential. To understand why baking soda became so popular, we need to understand the way people lived in the past. Older households were built around practicality. People repaired things instead of replacing them. They reused containers instead of throwing them away. They preserved food instead of wasting it. And they searched for simple solutions before buying something new. Baking soda perfectly matched that lifestyle. It was inexpensive and easy to keep for a long time. A family could buy one box and use it for months. Unlike many modern products designed for only one purpose, baking soda had many different roles. It could help a person prepare a homemade cake in the morning and clean a dirty kitchen surface in the afternoon. That ability made it valuable. For many families, baking soda was not just an ingredient. It was part of everyday life. 2. The forgotten power of cleaning with baking soda. One of the biggest reasons older people always kept baking soda at home was cleaning. Before supermarkets were filled with endless cleaning products, people relied on basic ingredients. Baking soda became popular because it offered gentle cleaning power. Its tiny particles can help remove dirt and buildup without being as aggressive as some harsh cleaners. For everyday messes, this made it incredibly useful. Imagine an old kitchen after a busy day of cooking. There are grease marks near the stove. Food particles are stuck around the sink. The countertop needs refreshing. Instead of reaching for several different bottles, many people simply reached for baking soda. They mixed it with a little water to create a paste and used it to scrub away everyday dirt. This simple method was passed from one generation to another. The secret was not complicated. It was consistency. Older people understood that regular small cleaning habits often prevented bigger problems later. 3. Making the kitchen sink fresh again. The kitchen sink is one of the busiest places in any home. Every day it comes into contact with food, grease, soap, and water. Over time, unpleasant smells can develop. Many older households used baking soda as part of their regular sink cleaning routine. The process was simple. First, the sink was rinsed. Then baking soda was sprinkled over the surface. A damp sponge was used to gently scrub the area. Finally, everything was washed away with water. The result was a cleaner-looking sink and a fresher smell. This method became popular because it was cheap, simple, and always available. People did not need to wait for a special shopping trip. The solution was already sitting in the kitchen cabinet. 4. Removing refrigerator odors. Almost everyone knows the problem. You open the refrigerator and immediately notice a strange smell. Maybe it comes from onions. Maybe from leftovers. Maybe from food that has been stored too long. Older generations had a simple habit: keeping baking soda inside the refrigerator. The idea was that baking soda could help absorb certain unpleasant odors instead of simply covering them with fragrance. Many families placed an open container or small bowl of baking soda on a refrigerator shelf. It became one of those small household habits that people rarely questioned because it was so common. Even today, many households continue this tradition. The reason is simple. Sometimes the old solutions survive because they are practical. 5. The secret behind cleaner pots and pans. Few kitchen problems are more frustrating than a pot with burned food stuck to the bottom. Before modern cleaning products became widely available, people needed reliable methods to save their cookware. Throwing away a good pot was not something people did easily. They cleaned it. They repaired it. They made things last. Baking soda became one of their favorite helpers. A common method was adding baking soda and warm water to the dirty cookware and allowing it to sit. This helped soften stuck-on residue, making the cleaning process easier. For stronger buildup, people created a thicker paste and gently scrubbed. The important lesson was patience. Older generations knew that sometimes a little time and effort could restore something, instead of replacing it. Before modern laundry additives filled store shelves, many families had their own simple methods for keeping clothes fresh. Baking soda was one of the household items people trusted. Older generations understood that clothes do not only become dirty from visible stains. Fabrics can also hold onto smells from cooking, sweat, smoke, and moisture. A small amount of baking soda added during washing was often used to help refresh laundry. It was especially popular for items that absorbed strong odors. Kitchen towels, bedding, socks, work clothes, and everyday fabrics. Many people also used baking soda when soaking heavily used items. The process was simple. Warm water, some baking soda, and time. The goal was not to replace soap or detergent, but to give laundry extra freshness. This reflects a common habit from the past. People used simple ingredients as helpers rather than constantly buying new specialized products. 7. Bringing old towels back to life. Have you ever noticed that towels sometimes stop smelling fresh even after washing? This happens because fabric fibers can trap oils, detergent residue, and moisture. Older generations often had a practical solution. They used baking soda as part of their towel care routine. By helping remove unpleasant smells and buildup, baking soda could make towels feel cleaner and fresher. This was especially useful in households where people owned fewer towels and needed to make everything last longer. Today, many people buy new things when old ones seem worn out. But previous generations had another approach. Take care of what you have. Clean it. Repair it. Use it longer. A small box of baking soda supported that entire philosophy. 8. A simple trick for smelly shoes. Shoes experience a lot of stress every day. They collect moisture, dirt, and odors. For people who worked outside, walked long distances, or spent many hours standing, keeping shoes fresh was important. Baking soda became a traditional solution. The method was easy. Place a little baking soda inside the shoes and leave it overnight. By morning, the powder could help absorb moisture and reduce unpleasant smells. Before wearing them, the baking soda could simply be shaken out. This was one of those small tricks that cost almost nothing but made everyday life more comfortable. Many old household secrets were like this. They were not complicated inventions. They were practical habits repeated for years because they worked. 9. Freshening closets and storage areas. Closets, drawers, and storage boxes can sometimes develop a stale smell. Especially in older homes, where clothing and household items might be stored for long periods, keeping things fresh was important. Many families used baking soda in these areas. A small open container placed inside a closet or drawer could help reduce unwanted odors. Some people also placed baking soda near stored shoes, seasonal clothing, or areas where moisture was a problem. The idea was simple. Keep the environment fresher before problems become noticeable. Older people often focused on prevention. They did not wait until something became a major issue. They handled small problems early. 10. The traditional bathroom cleaning. Helper. Bathrooms require constant attention. Water, soap, and humidity create conditions where dirt can quickly build up. Before modern bathroom cleaners became common, baking soda was one of the most trusted household cleaning ingredients. People used it for everyday bathroom maintenance. A baking soda paste could be used to clean areas such as sinks, bathtubs, tiles, and some bathroom surfaces. Its gentle texture helped remove everyday buildup. The advantage was that it was already available. There was no need to have a separate product for every corner of the bathroom. One simple ingredient could handle many ordinary cleaning tasks. 11. The forgotten sink and drain. Maintenance trick. A bad smell coming from a kitchen drain is a problem many households face. Food particles, grease, and organic material can create unpleasant odors. Older people often focused on regular maintenance instead of waiting for a serious problem. Baking soda was sometimes used as part of this routine. A small amount could be placed into the drain and followed by warm water. Some households also used baking soda together with vinegar because of the bubbling reaction they create. The reaction looks impressive, but it is important to understand its limits. It can help loosen some residue, but it is not a guaranteed solution for a blocked pipe. The old-fashioned lesson was simple. Regular care prevents bigger problems. 12. Baking soda in traditional cooking. Of course, one of the most important reasons baking soda stayed in kitchens was cooking. For generations, homemade baking depended on simple ingredients. People made cakes, cookies, pancakes, and breads at home. Baking soda played an important role because it helps dough become lighter when combined with the right ingredients. Many family recipes passed from grandparents to grandchildren included baking soda. A small amount could transform ordinary ingredients into something special. But baking was not only about food. It was about family traditions. The smell of homemade cookies. A cake prepared for a celebration. Bread made for loved ones. That small box in the cupboard was connected to memories. 13. Helping remove kitchen odors from hands. Anyone who cooks regularly knows that certain foods leave strong smells on hands. Garlic, onions, fish, and other ingredients can leave odors that remain even after washing. Some older cooks used baking soda as part of their cleaning routine. A small amount mixed with water could be gently rubbed on hands and then rinsed. The purpose was to help remove unwanted smells. Again, the secret was not expensive products. It was knowing how to use simple household items effectively. 14. Cleaning reusable containers. In the past, people reused containers much more often. Glass jars, storage boxes, and kitchen containers were cleaned and used again and again. Baking soda was a helpful tool for removing food smells from containers. Sometimes a container that held strong-smelling foods could keep those odors even after washing. A little baking soda and water could help refresh it. This habit fits perfectly with modern ideas about reducing waste. Many old traditions are becoming popular again because they encourage people to use resources more carefully. 15. Why these old tricks are becoming popular again. Today, many people are returning to simple household methods. There are several reasons. First, people want to spend less money. Second, many households want fewer unnecessary products. Third, there is growing interest in reducing waste. Baking soda represents an older approach to home care. Buy fewer things. Use them wisely. Take care of your home regularly. The older generations were not trying to follow a trend. They simply used what they had. And sometimes that practical knowledge is exactly what modern households need. 16. The old garden secret, using baking soda carefully outdoors. Many older gardeners kept baking soda not only in their kitchen but also near their gardening tools. For them, the garden was an extension of the home, and simple household items often had more than one purpose. Baking soda was sometimes used as part of garden care routines. One common use was helping reduce unpleasant smells around compost areas. A compost pile contains natural materials that break down over time. When conditions are not balanced, unpleasant odors can appear. Some gardeners used small amounts of baking soda to help manage smells. However, experienced gardeners understood something important. More is not always better. Adding large amounts of baking soda to soil can change its chemistry and affect plant growth. The wisdom of older gardeners was based on balance. They used simple solutions carefully, observing how their plants responded. 17. Helping keep garden tools cleaner. Garden tools work in soil, moisture, and organic material every day. Over time, dirt can build up on shovels, scissors, and other equipment. Many gardeners believed in cleaning their tools regularly because well-maintained tools lasted longer. Baking soda could be used as a mild cleaning helper for some tools. A small amount mixed with water could help remove surface dirt. This reflects an important lesson from older generations. Tools deserve care. When you maintain what you own, it serves you longer. 18. Removing sticky residue around the home. Every home has those annoying little problems. A sticker that leaves glue behind. A jar with leftover residue. A surface that feels sticky after something spills. Older people often looked for simple ways to solve these problems before buying special products. Baking soda was sometimes used because its texture could help gently scrub away residue. Mixed with a little water, it creates a paste that can be useful for many small cleaning tasks. The important thing is to always consider the surface being cleaned. Some delicate materials should be treated more carefully. The old-fashioned approach was never about using one solution everywhere. It was about understanding the right tool for the right job. 19. A simple helper for cleaning. Children's items. Families with children have always faced similar challenges. Spills. Messy hands. Food stains. Dirty toys. Older parents and grandparents often relied on simple household methods to keep everyday items cleaner. Baking soda became popular because it was inexpensive and easy to keep available. For some washable items, a baking soda solution could help refresh surfaces. Of course, anything that children put into their mouths should always be cleaned using safe methods appropriate for the material. The bigger lesson is that previous generations tried to create healthy homes with practical routines. 20. The memory behind the little box. For many people, baking soda is connected to memories. It reminds them of grandparents' kitchens, of homemade pies cooling on the table, of old wooden cupboards filled with simple ingredients, of homes where people fixed things instead of throwing them away. The value of baking soda was never only about the powder itself. It represented a way of living, a mindset based on being practical, avoiding waste, using resources wisely, and finding solutions with what was already available. That is why many older people never considered baking soda just another ingredient. It was a household essential. 21. Common mistakes people make when using baking soda. Although baking soda is incredibly useful, there are some mistakes people should avoid. The first mistake is assuming it can solve every problem. Baking soda is helpful, but it is not a miracle product. Some stains, damages, or cleaning challenges require other solutions. The second mistake is using too much. A small amount is often enough. More powder does not automatically mean better results. The third mistake is ignoring the surface. Before cleaning something valuable or delicate, it is always smart to test a small hidden area. First, older generations understood moderation. They used simple ingredients, but they used them thoughtfully. 22. Why simple household knowledge is worth preserving. Modern life has given us many conveniences. We have products that our grandparents could never imagine. But convenience does not always mean better. Sometimes, older knowledge contains valuable lessons. Knowing how to clean with simple ingredients. Knowing how to repair instead of replace. Knowing how to make the most of what you already have. These skills can save money and reduce waste. Baking soda is just one example. Behind it is a much bigger idea. A home does not need to be filled with endless products to be well cared for. It needs thoughtful habits. 23. The reason baking soda still belongs in modern homes. Today, baking soda remains popular because it combines many qualities people still appreciate. It is affordable, easy to store, widely available, and useful in many situations. A small box takes very little space but can help with many everyday tasks. That is exactly why older generations trusted it. They valued things that earned their place in the home. If something was useful, reliable, and affordable, they kept it. And baking soda proved itself again and again. Final conclusion. The next time you see a simple box of baking soda sitting on a store shelf, remember that it carries generations of household knowledge. It was there in family kitchens long before modern cleaning aisles became crowded with hundreds of products. It helped people cook meals, care for their homes, protect their belongings, and solve everyday problems. The secret was never that baking soda was magical. The real secret was knowing how to use simple things wisely. Our grandparents understood that a comfortable home was not created by having more products. It was created by taking care of what you already had. So maybe that little box of baking soda deserves a permanent place in your home too. Because sometimes the best solutions are not the newest ones. Sometimes they are the ones that have been trusted for generations. If you enjoyed learning these forgotten household secrets, share this video with someone who appreciates simple, practical knowledge. And remember, a small box of baking soda may look ordinary, but the wisdom behind it is anything but ordinary.